The Syrian Defense Ministry says that an Israeli air aggression early on Monday morning put its Aleppo International Airport out of service. Syria's state-run media Sana said that the alleged Israeli airstrike took place at 4:30 a.m. local time and that in the attack, runways at the airport were damaged, effectively rendering it out of service. The Syrian regime last claimed the airport was attacked in early May. Reuters, citing sources familiar with the matter, have previously reported that Iran has used Aleppo airport to move weapons and military equipment to Syria and that it has used the airport to exploit the movement of aid after the February 6th earthquake in Turkey, which also led to damage and deaths in northwestern Syria. Israel, in line with its long-standing policy, has not commented on these specific strikes. With me now from Tel Aviv is retired Colonel Dr. Jacques Neria, the former Deputy Head of Assessment for Israeli Military Intelligence and the former Foreign Policy Advisor to Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin. Thank you for being with me this morning. What more do we know about the alleged strike? Normally, Israel tends to target weapon depots if they do, in fact, comment at all on any of these strikes. So why the airport?
Well, the airport is one of the means used by the Iranians in order to provide weapons to Hezbollah. And it's quite logic because Aleppo is on the axis from north to south that gets directly to the Bekaa Valley, the stronghold of Hezbollah. The Iranians have been trying all the time to outwit the Israeli intelligence by finding alternatives for routes of supply. So we saw 3 weeks ago a huge truck taking a sharp curve in Mount Lebanon and just crashing. And we found out, the population there found out that it was loaded with ammunition, anti-tank weapons that were intended to Hezbollah. This remark is very important because there's a cat and mouse game between us and the Iranians, and who is the more clever and certainly outwitting the other. On the other hand, if this attack was carried from the west, meaning from the sea, it means that it is overriding the Russian air defense, or the Russians are accepting the fact that Israel is acting from that area, and it serves also a means for penetration for the Israeli Air Force. And finally, if this is correct, we are talking about more than 23 air attacks against targets in Syria from north to south. It means that the capacity and the ability of the Air Force with the Israeli Air Force is still very vivid and very strong.
And Doctor, just how difficult is it to contain Iran in Syria? If Israel has allegedly been striking the airports, weapons depots, it's been doing so for months, especially now that Russia's war in Ukraine is ongoing and Syria's readmittance into the Arab fold has gone through.
Well, you are right. If you compare the militia, the Hezbollah militia's in 2006 to what it is today, it's a real army. It's equipped with very sophisticated modern equipment provided by Iran. They had at the time in 2006 barely 10,000 missiles. Today they were talking about an arsenal of more than 200,000. So meaningless. I mean, the intensification of the Iranian effort meets also intensification from Israeli point of view. But I mean, you cannot be hermetic. You cannot seal hermetically the whole country. And this is a fact that we find ourselves with a militia that has turned into an army.
Retired Colonel Dr. Jacques Neria, the former Deputy Head of Assessment for Israeli Military Intelligence and the former Foreign Policy Advisor to Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, appreciate your time and analysis on this topic this morning.
Thank you.